everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia Elay, and if you're new to this channel, welcome, and if you are not, welcome back. Today we will be going over locks. I'm going to give you guys the rundown on lock extensions, things that I've learned within the last few months, as well as things that I'm just learning in general that I feel like would be helpful for you guys to know. So if you're interested in knowing more about lock extensions as well as locks, keep on watching. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I upload every Sunday at 12 p.m. religiously. So stay in tuned and stay connected. Check me out. Let's get into this video. Okay, y'all. So if you are new to this channel, I got my lock extensions installed November 2nd, 2020. So I've had them for a little over 4 months. And I got them installed. I have 73 locks in my head. I was originally I still am. I have 4C hair, very kinky, very coily, very thick, right? My density is very, very thick. So when it's time for me to get a retwist, it's like, woof, Lord Jesus. Jesus, take the wheel, because what the hell, right? So I decided that after 4 months, I was going to get a lock retightening, and lock retightening is also known as a crochet lock retwist. So I got a retightening, and that pretty much is where the loctician will go through each lock and pretty much use the crochet needle and pretty much juke and stab between each one, like sideways, back and front, up and down, and that is pretty much very similar to the process of getting instant locks. You're pretty much relocking the hair to make sure that they're matting together, so that way when it's time for it to actually lock and go through the budding phase, is a lot easier than if you have loose hair, right? So it's a very easy way of maintaining your new growth. I wouldn't say to do all the time, but every few months if you need to, it's great to get. And that is a way of tightening the lock extensions with my natural hair as well. And I would always recommend that if you have looser textured hair and you are getting lock extensions, you might need to do a retightening more often than someone like me that has 4C hair and has very thick hair. Okay, so yes. So I got my retightening for 2 different reasons. Not only to make sure that my new growth, because I had about 4 inches, like this much new growth. In the 4 months, I had this much new growth. So my hair grew out a lot. I had that much new growth. I was just like, one, even if I was to get a regular retwist, my retwist won't last as long. And this also could be an alternative to getting interlocking. So for those that do get interlocks, I commend you. I have not done it yet. I am interested in probably doing it, but I would need to do a little bit more research because I just want to make sure to maintain the integrity of my hair. I believe my loctician does not do interlocking. Some does, some don't. She mainly does the palm roll method. I palm roll myself, so that's something that I might look into, and I'll give y'all the feedback when I find out more. But as of right now, this lock retwist with the crochet needle is hitting for me, okay? So the purpose of retightening, like I said, is to make sure that you are pretty much retightening each lock. You are making sure that your locks are more uniformed, they're together, and that way it is easier to go through the budding process, through the lock phase, so that way it matures a lot faster than it would if you had 2-strand twists, braids, coils, etc. Okay, also, things that I've learned within this process is that it's okay to get a retightening. A lot of places, when you are getting lock extensions, will include a retightening actually within the next 6 weeks. They'll tell you to come back for a consultation. Well, not really a consultation, but a follow-up. And then they're usually retightening. I didn't actually need one until like month 4. So just to say, it all depends on how your lock extensions are install would depend on whether you would need a retightening sooner or later, right? But you also need to make sure that you know what loctician you go. You can't go to any rinky dink loctician, okay? You can't go to your mama pop loctician because she might not know what she's doing, okay? Just gonna give y'all the real, okay? The T on the T. Not every loctician knows how to do lock extensions. Not every loctician knows what they're doing even if they do the lock extensions. Not every loctician understands the concept of lock-part ratio. Now, what is lock-part ratio? Lock-part ratio is very important, especially when it comes to new growth and the longevity of your lock extensions. So the reason why I say it's important, there was a question that came in, and thank you for asking that question, because that is a common question that people ask but never actually get the real answer to. Don't get the T. So let me give you the T right now. So for me, my lock extensions have stayed the same length, the same size, and hasn't gotten any bigger since I gotten it installed. And the reason that is because, one, the way that my loctician does her lock extensions is amazing, so you don't have to worry about it swelling. She does a great job. It is very compact, and the size that it is the size it will stay. Two, the way that she installs the locks is based off of the lock part ratio. Lock part ratio pretty much means your parting depends on many different factors. So the size of the lock extension being installed, the texture of your hair, the density of your hair, as well as the what am I saying? I'm blanking right now. Yeah, just say those are the main three things, honestly. So if your loctician does not know those main three things, there's a chance that, one, your lock extensions might look great at the beginning, but then as it starts to grow out, your hair is a different size than the actual lock extension, or vice versa. Which is why lock part ratio is so important. I've seen someone get lock extensions installed and it looks like they have a mop on their head because their lock extensions do not match their lock part ratio. Their head and the size of the locks that were installed is a lot different than the actual size of the extension. Also, another thing that plays a role in the swelling or size of the lock also is the way it was made. So handmade locks, for me, I think are way better than factory made locks. One, because factory made locks definitely look very fake, regardless of if it's still human hair or not. It just looks fake. With handmade locks, of course, you're gonna get the personality. The personality comes in the lock, okay? So even if they look very straight or whatever, they still have some type of kink and bump and everything to it. I always suggest getting handmade locks, especially go to someone that has been doing it for a while, that knows what they're doing, because you can have Tina make the locks and she don't know what she's doing. Sally Mae making the locks, she don't know what she's doing. But then you have someone else that's been doing this for a while, knows what they're doing, and you don't have to worry about it looking fake. When I got my lock extensions first installed, it looked like I've had locks for a long time. And that's why I say it's important. While there's another person that I've seen on Instagram, I immediately was able to tell that she had lock extensions. I don't know if it's because I now have a trained eye for it, or if it's just that it just looked that it didn't look organic. it wasn't hitting for me. And factory locks also plays a role in how stiff it is as well. So even if you've been washing it and washing it and washing it and washing it, after a while your hair is supposed to loosen, right? The hair is supposed to loosen. But with factory locks, your hair does not loosen. It's still looking all stiff and crazy. It's like you look like you got antennas, and it's like, yeah, no, you're not supposed to move, right? It's supposed to move without any issues. Like my hair is a little stiff right now because my retwist is tight. But once I've had this in for like more than a week, it's gonna loosen. Like It's already loose, but it's going to loosen even more, right? So this is why I say it's very important to know who your loctician is and whether they know what they're doing, because anybody can install lock extensions. That don't mean that it was installed correctly. It doesn't mean that it's going to look good when it starts to grow out, because it might look good at the beginning, but then when it comes time, it looks crazy to maintain, and then you have to cut it out. You have to start over, or you just not gonna want to do it again because you got PTSD. You scarred for life, like you traumatized because they didn't know what they was doing. It happens, okay? I've seen so many bad reviews when it comes to lock extensions, but I feel like it all depends on where you went, sometimes how much you paid, because lock extensions ain't cheap, y'all. If a person is telling you you could get some lock extension for $500 and it's a full head, run away. That means it's either they doing some bubble stuff, which means some scamming ass shit. I probably should be cursing on YouTube. Some scamming stuff, okay? They probably doing some scamming stuff, or they really don't know what they're doing, or they just trying to experiment on you so they can eventually learn to know what they're doing. You don't want that, okay? Most locticians, from what I've seen, start at like $700, and that's the cheapest. And I was fortunate to get it at that price, right? And that was because my loctician had a sale. Okay, she had a special, and I got her during the special. But lock extensions are not cheap. You can start at like $1,000 and up sometimes. Just depends on who you go to, how long they take. I'm fortunate that my loctician is amazing at what she does, and she does not take that long. Like, you can get your whole head done in 4 hours with a style. Where are you finding that? You're not finding that anywhere, because most places take about 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours to install the lock extensions. There's other places that make you come back, have a 2-day process. Why 2 days? That don't make any sense to me. Especially if I'm paying all that money, I gotta come back in 2 days. That means I'm requesting off of work for 2 days. Yeah, that's too much, y'all. That's too much. But anyways, back to this lock extension stuff. Make sure, the same way you would take care of your locks, your natural hair, whatever, water, refresher spray, refresher spray. All of this is technically water-based products that are great for your hair. I know at first, us being black and all, we don't like water touching our hair, but this actually is amazing for your hair. So spraying it down, right? Putting a little bit of water in your hair helps keep in the moisture, especially after when you put your oil in your head, right? So I'm not gonna put too much because I just put some, but make sure that you are oiling your scalp, right? I'm not gonna do it right now because I just finished doing it, so I'm not gonna add any more because I don't need no more. But make sure that you are oiling your scalp. Make sure that you are misting your scalp as well, your locks as well, with water. I also, if you don't have oil, you can also pick up this natural whipped butter lock moisturizer. It's amazing. It's from Afro Latin Locks. This is what it looks like. A little bit goes a long way. It's pretty much shea butter, cocoa butter, mango butters, a whole bunch of butters mixed together, right? And like I said, a little bit goes a long way. I legit use that much. And then if it wants to get off my finger, I like rub it in, right? And I will find ways to massage it into my scalp. Also, another thing that is important for your locks is to make sure that you have a brush. I know it sounds crazy, but make sure you have a brush. Boar bristle brush. This is what you need when you have locks. This is great for so many different reasons. It's great to make your locks look a little bit neater and to maintain it, to tame down the frizz. This is also great if you have any particles or like lint or whatever in your hair. You can use this to brush it out. and it will come out, and then you can clean that brush out and everything. You can get this in a local beauty supply store. I got mine for like $10. This says it's a reinforced boar brush. So as you can see, this is what it looks like. And it's a soft bristle brush. It's great to also pretty much spread around, distribute the oil that is in your hand. So whatever you use and you like rubbed it down, you can use that and brush it in to your hair. So that is amazing. Also, I make sure to keep this on me, the Supergrow Hair Gel in Extra Hold. It has biotin and placenta extracts in it, so it helps make your hair grow. Some people are allergic to it, some people aren't. I love this stuff. This is great for my retwists, also for my edges and everything. So yeah, so that is the reason why I got my lock retwist. These are things, well, not lock retwist, my retightening. These are things that I've learned throughout the time that I have had my locks, as well as over the years, and I will continue to come back and fill you guys in on more. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to write it in the comments. I will either respond to you in the comment or I'll make a video about it. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Peace, y'all.